Now today, I'm going to be testing out a packing method that's new to me. And so I'm going to be working through this process along with you so that we can see if this really works. It's called the 3-day packing method. Now this packing method was developed by Tim and Finn, who are the owners of Tripped, and they're also YouTubers like me. And they came up with this 3-day packing method that's supposed to work for everyone, for every occasion, and not leave you wanting for anything. Now I'm going to be testing out this method along with you to see how well it compares with what I actually packed for my trip to London, Paris, and Amsterdam. So stay tuned. Now this 3-day packing method is supposed to be highly adaptable for the kind of trip you're going on and what kind of parties you're going to and what kind of activities you're going to be on. So I've picked the trip that I've actually been on and I know what I've packed to see how well it compares. So I want you to know if this could be actually used in real life. So I'm using this trip as a barometer to see if it works as well as any of the other packing methods. Now, a couple of things to think about before you start pulling things from your closet. The first thing you have to do is check your weather. And I can't say that enough because so many of my viewers do not check the weather and then they get there and they don't have the proper stuff for them. And the second thing I'm going to tell you is try on all your clothing and make sure you look and feel good in that clothing and that you have some extra wiggle room in case you happen to gain a little weight along the way from your eating. The third thing I'm going to tell you is think about the activities you're going to be doing. Now, this is a fundamental to this packing method, and that's why it works equally well for men as it does for women. So this is not a girl kind of packing method alone. This is an everyone packing method. When you think about the activities you're going to be doing, you're prepared for those activities. And that's why it's called the 3-day method, because you're thinking about 3 different kinds of days. Now, also, I want you to think a little bit about where you're going and what kind of vibe you're looking for. And what do I mean by that? Well, you have to think about who you really are. And I'm a really kind of casual girl. I'm sure you've all picked up on that. But also, I like to look like I fit in with the environment that I'm in, and I don't look too touristy. So when we're thinking about this 3-day method, we're thinking about 3 kinds of days. The first day is your essential day, and that's your most important day. Now, it doesn't matter if the most important day is spending Christmas with your family, or you're attending a wedding, or you have special party plans. It is the day that you're going to think of from start to finish, everything that you're going to need. The second day is your everyday. And as the name would imply, it's what you would wear any day as you're going through your trip. And the third day is your travel day. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I adapt this travel day to be also the day that it's my comfortable day. Because usually when I'm wearing my travel clothing, I like to be comfortable. So when you're picking clothing for that day, I want you to think, what days would I need to be comfortable? Maybe I'm sitting on a bus for a long time or stuff like that. And what would I want to wear for that day? Because I'm also going to be out and about. So that's the only day that I would do differently than the prescribed method by Fit. Okay, so now let's get on with the process, and I'm going to walk you through it as I walk myself through it. Okay. Now, the essential day starts with waking up in the morning, and you can see now how it starts literally at the top of the day. So with this trip, I took a nightshirt with me, which I always take with me, and a robe. And when I travel with friends, I take a robe because we tend to knock on each other's doors in the morning, and I don't want to just show up in my nightshirt. So now let's add this to the pack. Now, along with my nightshirt and my robe, I take a pair of hotel slippers because the rugs in the hotel are not very clean. Now, in the morning, I don't do this every morning because I'm not really a breakfast person, but when I'm on vacation, I do like to come down and get some fresh fruit. And when I come down, I like to come down in kind of like comfortable clothing. So I will take a shirt like this and a pair of comfortable pants like this. And this would be my go down to breakfast in the morning outfit. And now I'm going to add these 2 items to the pack. Now, to go down in the morning, I also like to wear my flip-flops. I like these because I can dress them up, I can dress them down, I can wear them to the pool, and they pack up really thick. Now, since we're talking about the essential day, I know that the day that I arrive in London, we're going straight to the Tower of London, and I'm going to need clothing for that. So I have a pair of jeans, and because the weather is so changeable, I have a short sleeve white top and a sweater that I can layer underneath this if it gets too chilly, I am so unsure about this weather because I keep checking it and it keeps changing. So this is what I'm taking along for during the day. And you can already see that I'm building quite a wardrobe here, right? So for those of us who have been to England many times, you'll know this expression, 3 seasons in a day. And that's what this weather is calling for. It's calling for rain in the morning, sunny in the afternoon, cool in the evening. So for this day, which is my essential day, I need both a raincoat and my denim jacket. Now it's at this point that I'm going to diverge from the way Finn taught this method, because the way she teaches this method is that she packs out for every moment of the day all the underwear, all the socks, all the bras that she needs for that moment. So from this point on, just count out the number of bras, underwears, and socks that you think you're going to need for this trip. I do some sink laundry, maybe you don't, but that's an individual choice. Now moving on. So the day that we landed in London was actually a really big day. It was my friend's birthday, and we had a fancy dinner planned at the Savoy Grill, which is Chef Ramsay's restaurant in London. So I needed some nice dress-up clothing to wear out to dinner. So this is what I picked. Now I really love this dress, and this dress got an awful lot of wear, but this is the dress that I took with me to London for my friend's party, because this is, remember, my essential day. I also packed a blue sweater in case it was chilly that day, because I didn't think that my denim jacket was dressy enough for this occasion. And I'm taking my wristlet to wear along with this outfit because I think it looks nice, dresses it up. Now you can see that just by packing for the essential day, I got a ton of clothing already here. Also, I know in all 3 hotels that we're staying at, there is a pool. And some days we do swim and some days we don't, but I want to make sure that I'm covered, so I have my bathing suit and a cover up for the pool. Also, not to be forgotten, is I will need a crossbody bag on any given day. Now we're moving on to the everyday. Now I want to take a moment to talk a little bit about your clothing choices. Now, if you notice that everything I picked over here is all in blue tones, and blue tones are kind of my thing. It might not be your thing, but it's my thing. If your thing is a different color, then go for it, because you're picking it for you, not for me, and you have to feel good in the stuff that you're wearing. So keeping in mind that this is still picking out a capsule wardrobe, I'm going to be picking colors that go along with everything else that I've picked here. And so the next category, which is the everyday category, I'm going to keep that in mind. And so what I usually pick is comfortable clothing, because I'm that person. And this time I'm picking a neutral color. So I have a striped Breton kind of style top with a 3/4 sleeve, because again, the weather has been very changeable in all 3 countries. So I'm adding that to the list. And my favorite pair of black pants that you can dress up or dress down. I happen to wear these things when I'm out and about. So I'm taking that along. And since I have to pick literally everything that I'm going to wear for that day, I'm also taking my little sun hat that I take with me on trips, because look at how small it packs up. And no, there is no place to buy this, because I made this. I crochet in my spare time. Now, there's still more to my essential day. Now, when I'm traveling with my friends, my essential day usually follows with returning back to the hotel, having a couple of drinks, and then heading out for dinner. So I've picked this blouse, which I like, because you can wear it open, closed, you can layer it. It's a really good piece. A tank top, because I plan on leaving the blouse open. And it's also a good layering piece in case it's really kind of chilly that day. And a pair of blue pants to wear with this outfit. And because this is real life, I just realized I forgot my dress shoes that I have to wear with the dress and probably with those pants. So I'm taking these shoes along with me. And if you're keeping count, that's 2 pairs of shoes besides the ones that I'm wearing on the plane. And this pretty much fills out my everyday, because I have for going out during the day and I have for going out during the night. And I feel fully packed for that day. Now on to the travel day. Now, if you remember, I said to you, I do the travel day a little bit differently than the way Finn does it. And I try to pick clothing that would be comfortable even going out and on like a bus tour or something like that, if I don't want to be, stuffed into a pair of jeans, or I ate a little bit too much the night before. So keeping that in mind, this is what I chose. I have this nice little jogger set that I like to wear on the plane. And the reason I like this particular set is because the pants look like pants. They don't have jogger bottoms. So I know I can wear them as pants under anything else. And the gray top is very neutral. Also, what I add to the mix is, of course, my favorite little zipper up hoodie that keeps me warm on the plane and can keep me warm outside. And since we're talking about the travel day, I also have in here my scarf that doubles as a blanket for the plane in case I get a little chilly, even with the jacket on. Or I can use this as a pillow. So I'm going to add this to the mix. Now, no matter what anybody says, I know that all of us are thinking about the what if item. And I do it too. I'm no different than the rest of you. And I know I tell you not to do that and to maybe pause and say, do I need it or not? But let's say you are going away for a long time, say 10 to 14 days, and you want to make sure you're covered for everything. So this packing method allows you to pick 3 what ifs to go along with everything that you've picked already. And so I'm going to take a nice short sleeve top. Kind of notice a pattern here? Yes, I buy things in multiples. But yes, I really took this with me. So this is what's going into the pack. And yes, I do buy things in multiples. And I want to take a moment to point out to you that I made sure that the shirt that I added is a short sleeve shirt mixed with everything else that I had already in the pack. Now, for my next what if item is, what if I mess up this outfit here and we're going out to another fancy dinner? Because that definitely happens with my friends. And so I picked another outfit that was warmer because this is cooler. And I'm thinking about that also. And it's another outfit that I can take along and dress up or dress down. It's a pair of cream pants with a nice sweater that goes along with it. So I'm adding that to day 2. Now, day 3, because it happens to be the day that I consider my travel day plus my comfort day, I'm also concerned, what if it's cold? I mean, I could be cold, right? I'm always cold, especially when I'm looking at the temperature and it says that it's 55 to 65 degrees. So I'm bringing along an extra long sleeve shirt to go along with this sweater, which goes along with everything else here. And I'm adding this to my day 3. And that's my pack, with the exception of the shoes that I'm wearing on the plane and for every day. And these are waterproof. And I know I'm going to need them because it's going to be raining a lot. So at this point in the process, you're supposed to lay out all your clothing on the bed and see if you have any duplicates of anything and see how well everything goes together. So we're going to do that. Now, I know I told you that I do this a little differently than the way that Finn does it. And the way that Finn does it is that she takes out all the jewelry she's going to wear, any accessories she's going to wear, and any other sundries like that. And she also puts it on the bed. Now, the only reason I haven't included that is just because I generally don't take jewelry along with me too much. And also because I don't want to take away from the actual picking of the clothing, which I know is probably the hardest thing for most of you to get your heads around. So here we are with all the clothing laid out on the bed. And the reason we do this is to make sure that everything mixes and matches, because we don't want to be taking clothing that doesn't mix and match. And as I look over the clothing, I can see that everything mixes and matches well with each other, with the exception of my what if outfit. The cream pants don't really go with anything else here. So maybe I would change out that outfit for something that mixes a little better with this, but gives me that what if we go out to too many dinners. So let me do that. So I decided to change out that outfit for a long sleeve dress that goes with the color palette that I've already chosen. And if I go out for another fancy meal, I have another dress to change into. So I'm going to add that there. And I kind of like that better because it's not 2 pieces, it's 1 piece, and it cuts down on the volume in my luggage. Now, as I look through the rest of this, I'm pretty pleased with everything that I took. So now that we've determined that everything here mixes and matches with each other, let's see if it matches up to the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, just as a point of comparison. So usually the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method runs that it's 5 tops, 4 bottoms, 3 layering pieces, 2 shoes, and 1 bonus item. Now, I happen to change it up for 5 tops, 4 layering pieces, 3 bottoms, 2 pairs of shoes, and 1 extra item. So let's see if this complies with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. And I'm not counting my nightgown because that's not part of it. And I'm not counting my travel outfit because that's not part of it, even though it is in the 3-day method. It's not in the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. So now let's count up the number of tops that I have here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got to count the cami as a top. That's 6. And this is 7. So I have 7 tops. That's 2 more than I'm allowed. Now let's count up the layering pieces, which should be 4. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 layering pieces. So now we're on to the pants, and I should have 3 pairs of pants here. White pair, I have my blue jeans, I have the dressy black pair, and I have a dressy blue pair here. So that's still one more that I'm allowed by that method. And now the 2 shoes. I did say to correctly, it's 2 shoes. And finally, the 1 extra. Well, the 1 extra is the dress, which is here. But there's also this dress here. So again, that's 1 more. So you can see that this pick provided more than the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. And you wouldn't think so if you were just picking for 3 days. And that's kind of what I like about this method, is I'm going through day by day the things that matter to me. And I know I'm not missing anything because it's already provided for. But I also know that I have a little bit extra in here that also makes me feel a little bit better. Now, let's see if we can get this all into a small European or Asian airline compliance bag. And we'll see if this all makes it in. And then I'll tell you if I had less or more with me on my European trip. Now, before I go and pack out the bag, I don't want any of you to be put off by this method because I know it's totally different. So if you have any questions for me, or if you're using this method already, please drop it down in the comment section down below.
Also there, you'll find a link to my packing list for the 3-day method to help you through the process.
Also, if you found any value in this video or you liked it in any way, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button because that tells the YouTube gods that you like me. And now for the moment of truth. Can I get everything that you saw on that bed into this bag? And this is my smallest bag. This is my favorite go-to bag by Quince because I know it makes compliance for almost any airline in size. Not necessarily weight because it depends on what you put in there, but in size. So in this packing cube, I have my 2 dresses, my cover-up, and my bathing suit. And in this packing cube, I have all my socks, bras, and underwear that I'm going to need. Now, this is not the way that Finn does it. She counts them up as she goes along, but this is the way I like to do it. I don't see any reason to do it that way. And in this packing cube are my slippers in their own little packet, and my pajamas and my robe. And that's really a half-empty packing cube. Because it's half empty, I'm going to put my crossbody bag / wristlet there. And also I'm going to throw in there, because I have the room, my crossbody bag that I take around every day. And that's all I'm going to be putting on this side of the bag. And as you can see here, I've laid out my shoes underneath the packing cubes, which is what I always do. But usually I put them underneath the fabric that's here, but I'm not doing that so you could see what I've actually done. And in here, I have all my tops and sweaters packed Kamari method so I can see what I have. And I'm just going to put my cardigan on top. And that way I know that anything that has to do with the top part of my body is all in one bag. And this will just zip up, no problem. And I'm going to put that over here on this side of
The suitcase.
On this side of the suitcase, I'm going to be putting the 4 pairs of pants that I picked out and my denim jacket. And then we'll compress. No problem. Now, everything else that you saw that was over there, which is my airplane outfit, my raincoat, because I'm going to need that. It's going to be raining when I get to London, and my shawl / blanket that I use on the plane, which will go in my personal item, does not get packed into this bag. Now, for the moment of truth, is this exactly what I packed into this bag for this trip? Well, the answer to that is no. Let me show you what I put into the bag along with the stuff that's there. I put in 1 more sweater, 1 more short sleeve top, 1 tank top, and 2 more long sleeve shirts. Which begs the question, what did I actually pack that I didn't use? Let me show you. I didn't use the bathing suit. I didn't use the cover up. I didn't use the extra dress, the tank top. 1 more sweater, 1 more short sleeve top, 1 tank top, and 2 more long sleeve shirts. Honestly, I didn't need those extra pieces. The point here is that 3-day method helped me define in my head what I want my trip to look like, helped me build out a wardrobe with enough clothing to go away with for 10 days. Because by building it out this way, by thinking through my itinerary very carefully, I could actually build out a wardrobe that worked for me. And I think that this could work for you. But if there's one takeaway I want you to have, is that the 3-day method leaves you feeling totally prepared for your trip, and that you don't have to worry about the what ifs and do I have enough? Because with all this clothing, you will have more than enough for a 10 to 14-day trip. I know I did, and I'm sure you will too. But if this method leaves you feeling a little nervous as of now, check out this group of videos over here on various other methods of packing, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.